Kelly Ripa brought up a delicate subject during a recent episode of Live E! With Kelly and Mark. Her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, got candid about a mental health issue that he has been secretly struggling with for a while now. Keep reading for more details on the shocking admission. Kelly Ripa talks aging phases on morning talk show. Kelly Ripa hopes to grow old with her husband of nearly 30 years. She married Mark Consuelos in 1996 after meeting on the set of All My Children. They live in New York City, near where the talk show is filmed. He joined her as permanent co-host of Live E! After Ryan Seacrest left. The married couple often uses their real-life experiences for the opening banter before welcoming guests on the show. During a recent episode, Kelly Ripa brought up the topic of aging and quoted a study that said that people go into the late aging phase around 83 years old. Mark Consuelos asked what stage they're in. Kelly Ripa turned 55 in October. Her husband turns the same age in March. The Live host revealed that they are both in the adult stage of aging. The BBC reported in November 2025 that new research revealed the 5 brain phases of aging. Childhood, from birth to age 9 adolescence, from 9 to 32 adulthood, from 32 to 66 early aging, from 66 to 83 late aging, from 83 and beyond. Mark Consuelos had a shocking admission about his age-related mental health struggles. Live host Mark Consuelos shares mental health concern. Mark Consuelos asked his wife if there was any way to stave off aging. The Live host replied that no, it just happens. Her husband looked concerned when he admitted to forgetting names and asked her if she does too. Kelly Ripa didn't hear the question, which prompted Mark Consuelos to admit that he forgets the names of people he knows. The daytime talk show host revealed last month that he had his first colonoscopy. He admitted that at 54, he was late getting the procedure. He opened up about the awkward and inappropriate way he behaved from the anesthesia. Memory loss causes memory loss is a common side effect of aging. However, it can also be caused by other issues. According to the Cleveland Clinic, taking longer to remember things is something most people deal with as we age. While minor issues with memory are just part of aging, for some people, it's a sign of a more serious diagnosis. Sometimes memory loss is an early sign of dementia, Alzheimer's, or is caused by mental health issues. If your memory loss is severe, you should get checked out by a doctor. However, memory loss is to be expected to some degree as we age. Mark Consuelos forgetting people's names is likely just a side effect of aging. Tell us in the comments if you have the same problem. When Mark Consuelos stood at the microphone on the set of Live with Kelly and Mark, his usual confident ease gave way to a vulnerability seldom seen on morning television. Daytime talk shows are built on upbeat banter and light conversation. Yet on this particular broadcast, Consuelos did something rare. He shared a candid glimpse into a personal battle that so many face but few discuss publicly, his experience with anxiety. What started as casual commentary evolved into a moment of profound honesty, reshaping perceptions of what it means to thrive in the public eye. Consuelos has built a multifaceted career over decades. He is known to millions as an actor, a co-host of a nationally syndicated morning show, and a husband and father. He brings charisma and warmth to each of these roles, but like anyone navigating life's pressures, he also has his struggles. In recent years, the pace of life, between the demands of media work, acting opportunities, and the rhythm of family life with Kelly Ripa, has offered little respite. Underneath the humor and quick exchanges, there remained a human grappling with stressors that sometimes erupted into something deeper: anxiety. The first time Consuelos mentioned his struggle was subtle. During a segment on upcoming projects, Ripa teased his Broadway debut, and laughter rippled through the audience. Then Ripa joked, "Is the anxiety kicking in?" as Consuelos prepared to discuss his new role. It was an offhand remark, but it unveiled a truth many viewers resonated with. Consuelos admitted that the anticipation of taking on something new, stepping back onto the stage, triggered real nervousness and an awareness of how powerful anxiety can be. He spoke with a frankness that cut through the usual showmanship, acknowledging that anxiety isn't something to be brushed aside or laughed off. For many, that moment was transformative. It shifted the narrative around Consuelos from lighthearted co-host to someone facing a universal reality. Anxiety, he revealed, isn't always loud. It can begin as subtle tension, a tightening in the chest before a big announcement or a pause before a public appearance. It can influence decisions and shape how one prepares for everyday life. By naming it out loud on national television, even in the flow of a conversation about career developments, Consuelos helped bring visibility to an experience that countless individuals know all too well. Mental health in the entertainment industry often remains unspoken until a breaking point is reached. Performers are expected to maintain a polished exterior, even as they juggle emotional challenges behind the scenes. Consuelos' revelation offered a reminder that celebrities, too, navigate the complexities of mental health. It was not a dramatic confession from a crisis moment, but rather a thoughtful acknowledgement that anxiety exists, that it is real, and that it deserves attention without judgment. In doing so, he modeled a form of strength rooted not in stoicism, but in openness. This was not the first time Consuelos' personal life intersected with mental wellness discussions on Live. Over the years, the show has become a platform where host and co-host alike have touched on health concerns with authenticity. But Consuelos' moment stood out precisely because it was his own internal experience, not a guest story, not a topic introduced for entertainment value, but his lived reality, shared in a space where the unexpected can happen. This wasn't an expert panel on anxiety or a pre-scripted segment. This was Mark Consuelos acknowledging the pressure he felt, live. Viewers responded with compassion. Social media lit up with messages of support and empathy. Many used the moment as a springboard to share their own battles with mental health, turning a segment intended to announce professional news into a collective conversation about vulnerability. People from all walks of life appreciated the honesty, not because it was sensational, but because it was real. In a culture that often emphasizes perfection, Consuelos' admission reminded viewers that the human experience includes emotional complexity. The ripple effect extended beyond applause. Mental health professionals highlighted the importance of such disclosures in reducing stigma. When public figures speak openly about emotional challenges, it creates space for others to do the same. Anxiety, depression, and stress are elevated to topics worthy of acknowledgement and care rather than whispered in the shadows. What Consuelos did on that broadcast was not therapy, but it was a bridge, an invitation for others to recognize and speak about their internal experiences. It was a step toward normalizing conversations that can be difficult, especially in environments that favor entertainment over introspection. Consuelos' honesty also shed light on the interplay between professional ambition and personal well-being. The arts and media industries are high-pressure environments where auditions, live performances, interviews, and public scrutiny are part of daily life. For those who thrive in creative expression, this pressure can sharpen focus and fuel passion, but it can also amplify anxiety, leading to moments where enthusiasm is tempered by fear and excitement is shadowed by doubt. Recognizing this duality is essential. When Consuelos spoke about his anxiety in the context of significant career milestones, he underscored that success and struggle can coexist. Sharing his experience also allowed Consuelos to humanize the concept of anxiety for viewers who might not have encountered it intimately. Anxiety is often misunderstood, reduced to phrases like "just calm down" or "nothing to worry about." But the type of anxiety Consuelos alluded to, the kind that surfaces before major life moments, that surfaces quietly and persistently, is a legitimate emotional response. It can be both an ally and a challenge, motivating preparation, but also creating tension. Normalizing conversations about anxiety encourages understanding and empathy, both for oneself and for others. In the days following the broadcast, the conversation did not fade. Viewers continued to revisit that moment, not as an isolated confession, but as a reminder that discussing mental health is an ongoing process. The dialogue extended to other topics: how society approaches emotional wellness, the importance of support systems, and the courage it takes to speak openly about internal struggles. In homes across the country, families and friends reflected on their own experiences, using Consuelos' moment as a catalyst for deeper conversations. Looking back, the significance of that broadcast goes far beyond the surface of television headlines. It was a milestone in public discussion, a reminder that mental health is not separate from everyday life, and that even those who seem confident and charismatic can wrestle with emotional complexity. Mark Consuelos did not just share a concern. He offered an example of vulnerability as strength, opening the door for countless others to feel less alone in their own journeys. In an era where conversations about mental health are increasingly urgent, moments like these matter. They remind us that wellness is not a destination, but an ongoing dialogue, one that grows stronger when people are willing to speak honestly, listen with care, and recognize that vulnerability can be a powerful form of connection.